entered into the history books. 1 year ago, last July 12th, Calgary got battered by an epic storm. It didn't last long, but it turned out to be the most expensive hail damage on record in Canada. Some insurance claims are still being processed. We've got it covered on NewsHour Final. Here's what else we're working on.
Tonight on NewsHour Final.
Several injured, dozens homeless. A fast-moving fire destroys an entire apartment block. A costly phone scam is sweeping Alberta. If you haven't been called yet, beware, you likely will be. And going head-to-head with a grizzly.
Grabbed me by the neck, just started shaking me around a bit and let it go again and grabbed me by the waist.
The survivor of a severe mauling tells his story for the first time.
Now from Global Calgary, NewsHour Final with Dallas Flex Hub.
Good evening. Breaking news tonight from the Weather Center. Another massive thunderstorm is bearing down on Calgary right now. We are seeing a lot of lightning on the south edge of the city. That storm is moving over Calgary, and it is packing a big punch. We turn over to Paul Dunphy right away. Paul, what are we dealing with here?
Well, we got in the last few minutes, Dallas's storm looks like it's taking a turn to the east. So folks in the Strathmore area now have to be wary. This is a big storm. We'll show it to you on the Doppler radar here. This is the storm. It is moving, as I said, toward the Strathmore region, and is basically right now along the Deerfoot Trail, right at the intersection of Marquis of Lorne. So that's where the heaviest downpours are right now. There's probably hail in this cell as well, and it appears, as I said, that it may miss the city of Calgary and track toward the Strathmore area. It's about 39 minutes out of your location, and there's rain elsewhere in the city. More cells could be popping up through the night and again through the day tomorrow. 14-hour low tonight. Tomorrow afternoon's high about 20 degrees. We'll have your complete 7-day forecast details in a few minutes.
A year ago tonight, Calgary was dealing with a hailstorm of record proportion. It caused $500 million damage, and some people are still waiting for repairs. As Doug Basin reports, those who haven't done their insurance paperwork are out of luck at midnight.
1 year later, and this repair shop is still doing nothing but fixing hail damage from last year's storm, and much work remains.
Lots of people coming in, trying to put in their claims before the deadline. And that's just been keeping us busy. We're booked up until September from hail from last year.
Calgary got hammered, the most expensive hailstorm in history, at least $500 million, and the final bill isn't yet known. Our news cameraman Rick Copley got caught while driving home.
And I actually took my camera out and shot video of the hail coming down, and it was getting worse, and they were getting like golf ball size.
The storm sent Stampede visitors scurrying for cover, shattered window panes on a greenhouse at the University of Calgary, and hundreds of damaged homes. But the worst hit were vehicles, entire streets of them, making up the majority of the more than 60,000 claims.
So I phoned my insurance agent. She says, yeah, you better get it in right now before the deadline of the 12th, or you're going to be looking at the dents on the hood.
But the Dent Clinic says some owners will be left footing their own bill. If anyone should know better, it's Calgarians. We simply live in Hail Central. Even though insurance companies spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year seeding storm clouds with non-poisonous silver iodide, Calgary is still home to 7 of the 17 most expensive storms in Canadian history. But for many, last July 12th may be hard to beat.
They were just coming down, bouncing off my truck. Just couldn't believe the size of them.
The sound pounding on our roof was unbelievable. It was more than a train, that's for sure. That's a massive golf ball.
Doug Basin, Global News.
4 people are seriously injured and dozens are homeless tonight after fire gutted a 50-suite apartment block in downtown Edmonton. 2, including a child, are in critical condition. 2 firemen were also hurt when a ceiling collapsed on top of them. The blaze was fueled by exploding propane tanks. Here's Linda Nguyen now with the latest from the scene.
Thick plumes of black smoke could be seen billowing towards the downtown skies. The massive apartment fire just east of the core broke out just after 1:30 Tuesday afternoon, spreading quickly upwards from a 3rd floor suite and engulfing the top floors within minutes.
Everybody back up! Back up!
60 firefighters were called out to battle the blaze and help evacuate the 50-suite apartment building. Grant Starchuk is one of several residents who had to be rescued.
For work, the fire alarm went off and smoke came through the door, and then I went to the balcony. Smoke was coming from the roof.
Claudette Allote was also trapped.
I heard the fire alarm and I tried to get out, but I saw smoke, so I called 911, and there was an operator with me the whole time, and there were some people downstairs reassuring me.
But not everyone was able to make it out safely.
There's 4 injuries. I can't tell you the extent at this time, but they're all 4 in hospital. 2 children, 2 adults.
Including a grandmother and a young child, both in critical condition. 2 firefighters were also injured after part of the roof collapsed.
That rescue or that mode in a firefighter's mind takes over, that sometimes they put themselves at great risk to go in there and get those people out of there.
2 100-pound propane tanks were found in the building, along with other smaller tanks on balconies, creating concerns of possible explosions. In the end, fire crews were able to put out the fire, but not before it destroyed 6 suites and causing water damage throughout many others. Hours later, residents are able to return, but only briefly, to gather necessary items like valuables and prescription drugs, as it could be a while before tenants are able to return home, if at all.
30 evacuees have registered to stay at the Red Cross shelter tonight. Others are being helped by family and friends. We know more tonight about the murder of a little boy in his own bed on the troubled native reserve at Hobbema. And the details are disturbing. 5-year-old Ethan Yellowhead was hit in the head by a bullet fired from outside his home. As Fletcher Kent reports, outrage over his death is growing.
With police moved on, the outside of the house shows signs of a horrific crime. Bullet holes pockmark the front and back of the home. One of them the shot that hit 5-year-old Ethan Yellowbird in the head. Across the street, Mounties and search and rescue teams continue the investigation, combing through long grass looking for evidence. Watching it all, Peggy Johnson.
Every Sunday I walk around the block checking out the neighborhood.
And she doesn't like the violence she sees.
It's just sad. Why? Because he was so innocent. No one needs to do that.
She knows about violence. Her own grandson ran with a gang. He served time for murder. And Johnson said she is tired of seeing young lives wasted. She wants traditional living restored.
I want so much to bring our culture back to our youth so that we don't lose it.
Many across Canada agree. The Assembly of First Nations National Chief expressed his condolences at the organization's annual general meeting.
This is a very stark reminder of why we're gathered here at the Assembly. It's to build safe and secure communities for our people to ensure that we don't have to deal with these painful incidents.
And the council in Hobbema focused on that same task. The 2008 shooting of 2-year-old Asia Saddleback proved a catalyst for many crime reduction initiatives here. And the council points out this crime doesn't mean efforts are not working, just that they need more time for them to work.
We will continue to move forward. This will hinder us a little bit, but it's not going to diminish anything that we have been doing, and it won't diminish the drive inside of our council and inside of our people to move forward.
Fletcher Kent, Global News.
Extra law enforcement on the reserve has already cost the province $5 million. The Solicitor General doesn't believe more police is the answer. Frank Oberle saying solving the problems must start with the community. Police here in Calgary asking for your help tonight to answer unsolved questions about the death of an elderly woman. Her body was pulled from the Bow River last week. Her death is not suspicious, but as Nancy Hicks reports, there's still some mystery to it.
74-year-old Guadalupe Cat Bagan led a very routine life. Every day, she put on the same clothes seen in this picture, left her Castle Ridge home, and walked around Northeast communities collecting recyclables. But July 4th was the last time she was seen alive.
Well, typically, you'll see her with her cart as she goes about the Northeast communities collecting recyclables. On that date, she left the house at 8 o'clock in the morning. She did not have the cart with her.
The next day, she was found far from her home in the Bow River near the Bridgeland LRT station. Police say her death isn't suspicious, but they continue to investigate some mysterious circumstances.
Family members who identified her body at the medical examiner's office noted that several pieces of jewelry were missing and reported it to police.
Kat Bagan always wore the same jewelry. The rings and necklace were very distinct, and her family found it very odd the jewelry was all missing when her body was found. Police aren't sure what happened, if it was stolen or lost.
We want to try to find out as the investigation continues where the jewelry is. It could very well have been pawned. It could have been given away. There's a number of different options that could have happened.
Kat Bagan's routine was off last Monday, and police need to know why and how she ended up dead in the river.
She's well known in the community in the Northeast. She's out and about quite a bit. Her means of transportation are on foot and Calgary Transit. So the transit folks know her well. She's recognizable.
Police are reviewing transit surveillance video, hoping to find some clues. Nancy Hixt, Global News.
Police want to hear from anyone who thinks they saw Guadalupe Kat Bagan last week. The town of Eckville, about an hour west of Red Deer, facing a massive cleanup tonight. A sudden superstorm drenching the area with more than 150 millimeters of rain in just an hour last night. As Shane Jones tells us, damage is extensive.
The flash flood storm hit without much warning over Eckville. Roads are still flooded over 12 hours later, some even washed out. Residents say they've never seen a storm as scary as this.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah, a lot of lightning.
The wind came up, the power went out, the rain started, and I had pictures on my cell phone of a wall of water coming off my roof.
Dozens of basements around town are flooded, but the Parsons home in the West End is particularly hard hit. The family couldn't see out the windows. It was raining so hard, and the water was quickly rising.
It took about an hour before it reached the windows downstairs. And then it slowly started creeping up over and over throughout the night.
The backyard shed floated into and then downed their fence. The family managed to get most of their valuables out of the basement amidst their shock.
Once it started seeping in, it was just like, it's too late. Like, we can't do anything more.
Now, the Parsons home is here on the west end of Eckville, and you can see the devastation from there. But it wasn't the only spot hit in town. Even the water coming across down over this culvert, this was complete ground that was washed away in just a couple of hours of the storm.
So I've been here over 40 years this time, and I've never seen rain like that. And this storm just seemed to hover over, and it would change direction. You'd think it was leaving, and it would come back. It rained solid for close to 4 hours.
With no phones or electricity, no one knew just how bad the storm really was.
And because the power was out, there was no way to know what was going on. Exactly. And it's a lot more scary in the dark.
Now cleanup begins in the hopes that more rain in the forecast isn't as severe, because most won't be able to take any more.
It's just kind of a sick feeling. You don't really know where to go now.
In Eckville, Shane Jones, Global News.
It has been a year since a major gasoline leak in Bowness, and some people who live nearby are still feeling the fallout. The province has ordered Gas Plus to build a containment wall around its station, but as Bindu Suri reports, residents say that solution doesn't solve the problem.
New homes are a sure sign things are moving forward for some in this Bowness neighborhood, but for others, time is standing still. No answer at this house deemed unlivable for months after a massive gas leak. Testing for contaminated soil is still happening regularly on Marie Hermanson's front yard.
I was concerned, but they've handled it really well, and we've been dealing with the people that they've hired to manage the problem, and it's going pretty well, yeah.
Plans to clean up the nearly 9,000 liters of gasoline that seeped into the soil last year have hit a wall, in a good way, according to Alberta Environment. The province is ordering Gas Plus to install an underground containment wall to prevent the gasoline from spreading. The soil will still be cleaned up, but won't have to be removed.
What we've agreed to now is to remediate the soil on site, which will achieve the same end result.
But there's no clear plan on cleaning up the soil outside the barrier, and that has residents concerned.
Retaining wall will keep it from moving away, but it will not clean up whatever is spilled before.
The province says it's still waiting on the latest report before deciding what to do.
We know that there's the migration is happening. We know that it hasn't reached the Bow River. But that report is basically just telling us where it all has gone and sort of the trend of where it will go.
This liquor store will be demolished in the next 10 days to make room for the containment wall, which will be in place by mid-August. Bindu Suri, Global News.
Gas Plus is charged with failing to report the leak. The fines could total tens of thousands of dollars, and there is a possible prison sentence. Lots of people will be heading down to the Stampede more than once over these 10 days, but could you handle living on the grounds 24/7? That's what one Calgarian is doing, and as Reed Feist reports, he's sharing his experiences with the world.
Brendan Barnett could be mistaken for any other person checking their smartphone on the Midway, but this Calgarian is no regular Stampede goer. He's got access to everything, and he's sharing it online with thousands.
Oh, it's immersive. It's intense. It's nonstop. But of course, it's fantastic. This is the bedroom in my Guarantee RV.
For the 10 days of Stampede, he's calling this trailer on the grounds home. It's one of the perks he's enjoying after winning the Stampede's ultimate intern position, sharing his experience through social media.
Twitter is the main vehicle for now because I'm able to do it real time right off my phone. I can take a picture as well. I also write blog posts about the events and then random things I see on the ground.
The Stampede is also doing its bit to keep people connected.
The social media hub also offers free Wi-Fi area, as well as cell phone chargers. There's iPads there if you want to quickly look something up on the internet.
Tyler Sebastian follows the greatest outdoor show on earth on Twitter, a place where he's won exclusive Twitter contests, including grandstand tickets.
Even when I'm at home, I'm checking the Stampede Twitter feed, so I come down here a lot just to see what the prizes are and see if I can win something else.
Barnett says he's already won one of the coolest Stampede experiences, and the intern is aiming to impress.
I hope to give people a good laugh. That's my #1 goal. If I can't stay lighthearted doing this, then there's no point even. I just want to show people that Stampede's fun.
Reed Feist, Global News.
You can follow Brendan on Twitter. His handle is @BlimpyB. You can also follow @Calgary Stampede for some of the exclusive Twitter contests. One of Canada's big banks says prepare for a big housing bust this year. Ahead, which cities will get hit the worst? Plus, for the first time since being attacked by a grizzly last week, the survivor is telling his tale, how he managed to walk away with his life. And later on NewsHour Final, when it comes to doing chores, women have historically done the most. But new numbers show the gap is closing, but by how much?
This program is brought to you by PM Hobbycraft's Summer Sizzler Sale. On now until July 17th only at PM Hobbycraft.
Tim's Fruit Smoothie.
Hey, your court's open.
Hold this.
Here's your fruit smoothie back.
Oh, thanks. So refreshing. If we go for a fruit smoothie, we get the quart.
Doubles, anyone?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Made with a full serving of fruit. Tim Hortons' new real fruit smoothies in mixed berry or strawberry banana. Just $1.99.
So I worked for Ford for 20 years. 3 great years.
Ford is in my blood. I bleed blue.
I built them right here.
Ford is sexy.
Technology and safety together.
Phone, call mom.
Cars that park themselves? Seems crazy, right? I get to save gas along the way.
This is a vehicle that was built to do the job.
Feel great about getting up every morning going to work.
Share our pride and share our price with Ford employee pricing. And with up to $12,000 in price adjustments, it's the best time to make one yours.
I call my car Shelly.
Shatter everything you know about shine. New color sensational High Shine from Maybelline, New York. Our first High Shine color in a stick. Now pigments are micro-illuminated. Honey Nectar creates our most luxurious feel. New High Shine. Only from Maybelline.
Why have one flavor when you can have them all? New snacking cups from Haagen-Dazs. Our passion is ice cream.
Canada's hot housing market is about to ice over, according to the TD Bank. It predicts home prices will drop as much as 15% over the next 2 years. As Christina Stevens reports, Toronto and Vancouver are expected to take the brunt of it.
This house just sold in a matter of days for the asking price.
Its new owner relieved he didn't have to get into a bidding war, all too common in a robust housing market.
It was just something we didn't want to get involved in. So for us, we were quite lucky and we were able to make a private purchase and not go through the whole MLS headache and stuff like that.
The Toronto market has been flying high. Prices are up this June by close to 10% over last year.
Very brisk, very good. June figures are great. We've enjoyed a very healthy market all through from the first of the year.
But the TD Bank says all of that's about to change. It's expecting the Canadian housing market to take a downturn by about 10% on average.
We're expecting to see price decreases over the next 7 to 8 quarters, very gradual in nature, until it gets to more of that balanced territory.
A combination of factors is to blame, including higher interest rates, new rules around mortgages, and affordability. Some cities will be hit harder than others. Calgary, Edmonton, and Regina are expected to fare the best.
The TD says Toronto and Vancouver are more vulnerable in part because the condo markets are reaching saturation.
They may see decreases by as much as 15%. But this realtor says waiting to buy still might not pay off.
If interest rates continue to go up and you wait for prices to go down, it's a wash.
Except, she says, for in-demand neighborhoods where she believes homes will retain their value. Jamie Pizzell says he definitely wanted to take advantage of current interest rates.
We know that they're relatively low right now. They're at historical lows. Of course, there's only one way for them to go, and that's up. Get in now while you can.
It's not expected the Bank of Canada will hike interest rates in its announcement next week, but the TD expects Canadians will see increases by January. Christina Stevens, Global News, Toronto.
Despite having the priciest real estate, Vancouver is no longer the most expensive city in Canada. A global cost of living survey looked at 214 cities on 5 continents. Toronto ranked 59th most expensive thanks to high rents, bypassing Vancouver, which came in 65th. Calgary, 96th. Luanda, the capital of Angola, topped the list as the world's most expensive city for the 2nd straight year. Tokyo came in 2nd, and New York is the costliest place to live in the United States. A man who survived a grizzly bear attack last week is telling his own incredible story for the first time tonight. John Johnson was picking berries near his home on BC's Central Coast when the bear struck. Given his injuries, it's hard to imagine how he walked a kilometer for help. Here's Romina Dea.
John Johnson is trying to be brave for his family as he recovers in a Victoria hospital. Last week, a grizzly bear tore his scalp off and busted his arm. He suffered serious cuts and bites. Physically, his progress has been remarkable. Emotionally, his scars will take a lot longer to heal.
I keep waking up with a bear attacking me. I could smell his fur.
51-year-old Johnson was picking berries in the remote community of Weeknight on the Central Coast when his dog started chasing a mother grizzly bear like this one and her 2 cubs. Maternal instinct kicked in and she attacked.
And I felt like I got hit by a truck. And that's when I felt like I could hear the grinding and feel the grinding on my skull when the bear was ripping my scalp off. He let go and grabbed me by the neck. They started shaking me around a bit and let it go again and grabbed me by the waist.
Suddenly, the cubs took off. Johnson rolled on his back. He thought he was safe, but the mauling wasn't over.
I could see they were looking to kill. And they started looking for me. They found me and they jumped. I put my feet up and I kicked it. They went over the top of me. And apparently there were some big rocks that I landed on. I blacked out after that. I don't know how long. Yeah, he must be picking berries here.
When Johnson awoke, he was bleeding badly. His body busted, but somehow he managed to walk for an hour, nearly a kilometer, to Frank Canuse's house.
Seen blood all over his face, and I thought, what do you do, fall off a road? Then he said, I just got mauled by a grizzly.
You got yourself up and you walked.
Yeah.
How did you find that strength?
I don't know. It's like I was thinking about my family.
Johnson had just enough strength to hang on to Canuse's ATV as he went for help. Shaken, but still strong, Johnson credits his survival and his recovery to the people around him.
Well, yeah, I do have to thank everybody in my community for all the great things they've done and the strength my brother has given me. trying to be strong. It is tough.
Wow. John Johnson underwent more surgery this afternoon as well. Hey, don't get caught by this scam. If you haven't got a phone call already, you likely will. The new fraud targeting you and your computer ahead. But first, a heat wave has been frying the central United States, which has millions of Americans looking for some relief. Paul, that's not our problem tonight.
No, right now we have severe thunderstorms moving through the Calgary area. 17 degrees at the airport, our high in Calgary today, below seasonal. We did 20 degrees. We'll show you the latest radar images of these storms that are rolling through in a minute. We'll also have your complete 7-day forecast details.
The Asphalt Jungle with Zach Spencer.
We all think of ourselves as good drivers, but if we're all pros, why are over 400 people killed and 26,000 injured on Alberta roads each year? We make mistakes when we're tired, distracted, or we think we're in control. You can't always blame the other guy when close calls or collisions happen. Take responsibility for your own actions. Being a good driver is the first step towards safer roads in Alberta. Know your way in the jungle.
Hi. Yes. Yeah, a while ago you had a burger with a nice spicy kick. It had like
jalapeno cheese and chipotle sauce.
Yes.
The spicy mama.
Are you ever gonna bring that back?
Whoa.
Chipotle. Where'd they get those? You know, you ought to do a better job letting people know.
I agree. Could you give me a hand with this?
Yeah, right.
The Spicy Mama Burger, only $2.79 at A&W.
If you don't have an iPhone, you don't have the App Store. So you don't have the world's largest selection of apps that are this easy to find and this easy to download right to your phone. So it can be almost anything, like a boarding pass, or do almost anything, like get the best deals. The App Store, just one more thing that makes an iPhone an iPhone.
This program brought to you by Shadow Tinting. Get protected today. Call 999-TINT for your free no-obligation quote.
Just
Nice
sat down.
of you to join us.
Just-
Running across the studio.
Big storm out there. Just checking the Doppler and getting everything set up. Moving through the east side of the city mostly. Thanks to Ileana, who's down in the Mackenzie Town area, said about 11:10. She sent me an email and said they get hammered hard. Marble-sized hail there. If you're on the east side of the city, you're likely seeing some of this going on right now. 17 degrees Calgary International at the moment right now across Canada. Some temperatures as reported by Environment Canada at this hour, 20 in Toronto, 17 at Vancouver. We've cooled a little bit because of the showers that are going through. High temperatures tomorrow, well, we'll be up to about 20 still, but it could be a very volatile day once again. This is what we're talking about. Here's the Doppler radar, and you can see the east side of Calgary getting a very heavy thunderstorm right now. We have been watching the lightning with our cameras here at Global, checking some of our cameras on the roadways as well around the city. We're getting some really intense downpours, and there's likely some hail. Wherever you see the yellow and orange and red echoes, that's where the heaviest stuff is. The Airdrie area looks like it's getting hit right now as well. And this stretches basically from the Okotoks area all the way up to past Sundre. So right through this entire region and out toward Drumheller over the next few hours, you're going to see some very severe weather from this system. This is probably the most violent weather across Canada. A quick check of the Doppler radar and the satellite shows some showers going through the maritime provinces, through southern Ontario and Quebec today as well, but nothing like what we are seeing right here, right now, and what we will continue to see over the next 24. You can see some stuff starting to come up. By the way, the Lethbridge area is under a severe thunderstorm warning. Calgary is not, obviously, Environment Canada not aware of the entire situation. These will move off to the east. More may develop behind it in the overnight, and then again tomorrow through the day we expect to see more rain and thunderstorms developing, in particular to the west along the foothills, and then coming off the foothills in the mountains toward Calgary. It'll be starting up, we think, by about 11 o'clock in the morning. This is the RPM Futurecast, our prediction on what will happen over the next 48 hours. Drumheller, you've got some pretty good thunderstorms between basically the QE2 and the Drumheller region by about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and maybe on the north side of Calgary as well. Might get breaks for a few hours, but then it redevelops into the evening hours. hour. So the next 24 looking pretty stormy before things finally settle down. We have a reasonably nice Thursday coming our way with lots of sunshine and no more thunderstorms. So be prepared for this for the remainder of tonight and through the day tomorrow. On again, off again, thunderstorm activity. A high of 20 tomorrow and then 22 on Thursday under mostly sunny skies. Sunny on Friday, 22 again. Saturday and Sunday, sunny to finish up the stampede. 23 Saturday, 24 on Sunday. Monday, as you're back to work in normal clothing, sunny and 26 and 23 with showers next Tuesday.
Marble-sized hail in parts of the city. Wow. Thanks, Paul. Dangerously hot and humid conditions in the U.S. have prompted the National Weather Service to issue heat warnings for nearly half the states. Sweltering temperatures stretch from Texas to the Mississippi Valley and the East Coast. 24 states in all. As Mara Chiavo-Campo reports, half of America's population is affected.
It's the summer sizzle that just won't stop.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is hot.
With this heat just continuing to stay right over us. Heat advisory in effect across most of Oklahoma.
Half of the country broiling under a scorching sun with no immediate relief in sight. In Oklahoma City, each new day is as bad as the last, with almost 2 straight weeks of triple-digit heat. Dallas has topped 100 degrees for 11 days in a row. High school football players working to stay hydrated.
If it's not hot, it's not St. Louis.
And in the gateway city, residents like gardener Ken Vance just knew it would be another scorcher.
As soon as you walk out, you see it's going to be one of those days.
In many cases, the heat is adding insult to injury, causing drought conditions to intensify in the south and creep up to mid-Atlantic states. Monday morning in Chicago, summer thunderstorms knocked out power to almost 1 million people at a time when air conditioning can be critical. Now, the East Coast is starting to feel the heat. Advisories have been issued from Georgia to Connecticut, with temperatures feeling like 105 degrees. In New York City, some were dressed for the weather.
I was in Las Vegas last week. It was 117. So 95 is,
Others looked like they just might melt.
Do you have a cooling fan in there?
But the heat wave is more than just uncomfortable. It's dangerous.
The elderly and infants are at significantly increased risk for developing heat illness, as are many people on certain medications.
Traditionally, men are accused of running for cover at the mere mention of housework, but a new study reveals a shift. What's changing when we come back?
Closed captioning is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Kids get into the Calgary Stampede free. Look on specially marked 12-can packs of Coca-Cola for your $8 savings voucher.
You wake up singing something just got better. It's the tale that tells the sky to open wide. And we finally
it's absolutely Alberta at travelalberta.com.
Why do the headlights have eyebrows? Why is the shape of the grille like the shape of the clock? Why do the gauges appear to be floating? Why does it seem like the grille is always smiling? Because the details are everything.
It's the LensCrafters semi-annual lens event. That's 50% off lenses, including bifocals, no lines, even sunglasses made with your prescription. So hurry in. You won't see this sale again until next year. LensCrafters.
Can I get this table in a different wood?
Yes.
Can I get it smaller?
Yes.
How about darker?
Yes.
Can I get different chairs?
Yes, yes, yes.
The only thing holding you back is your imagination.
Lowell approved.
Yes, the race is on. Definitely on. Definitely fast. Definitely thrilling. Definitely spectacular at the Edmonton Indy. Great packages including tickets and lodging available. Inquire now.
My mirror's not my best friend, but we are getting along. As your weight decreases, your confidence increases.
We interrupt our commercial with this exciting news. Jenny Craig was rated the top diet. Visit thetopdiet.com.
I've lost 30 pounds, and I'm not stopping here.
We repeat, Jenny Craig rated the top diet. Visit thetopdiet.com.
I'm eating Jenny.
Lose all the weight you want for only $6 per week. Call 1-800-JENNY20.
A look at the financial numbers. The TSX up 54 points. The Dow went the other way, down 59. Our loonie was down to start the day, but at close jumped a third of a cent. Big day for oil and gold. Crude up over $2 a barrel. Gold gained 13. The growing debt crisis hammered financial markets across Europe today. They were slammed by fears that Spain and Italy could both be dragged into the spreading problem. Italy is vulnerable because it is one of the highest public debt levels in the world and one of the lowest growth rates in Europe. And a costly new phone scam is dialing up calls across Alberta. And if you haven't been targeted yet, chances are you will be soon. The scam involves your computer and supposed problems with it. As Tony Ty reports, if you fall for it, you could be out a lot of money and all your personal information.
They said we're a servicing company for Windows. So I thought they were affiliated with Microsoft or something.
It's a phone call Gail regrets answering. They told her they detected virus alerts from her computer and needed to install software to stop overseas hackers.
The next pop-up, we want you to put this code in, and this will allow us to access their system, and then we can clean up and stop them from doing this. Otherwise, they said your computer is going to go dead on you.
But in order to finalize the cleanup, they needed $115 on her credit card. That's when she ended the call. 3 days later, her computer crashed, and she doesn't think it was a coincidence. It's called the antivirus software scam, and it's like an epidemic. Police, internet providers, and the Better Business Bureau have issued warnings to hang up on these phone calls.
From what we can tell, the intent is to either install a keylogger onto their computer, which would steal their personal information, or that they're looking for your credit card information. They just want to charge you $150 and make you feel like you have a virus.
Gail didn't take any chances after her call. She canceled all her credit cards, changed her banking passwords, and bought a new computer with better security. Tony Ty, Global News.
Police say calls are coming from a call center in India, and some victims are charged up to $500. If you want to report the scam or read more, go to our website, globaltvcalgary.com. You may have your own opinion about this next story, but apparently things are getting into better balance at home when it comes to housework. A new study indicates the division of labor, at least among young couples, is finally evening out. Almost. Tanya Beha has the details.
I think it's still a bit wet. Oh no, it's not bad.
Tidying up is a regular routine for David and Allison Seton.
Maybe we can make Hannah's lunch at the same time.
Okay.
And when it comes to doing the chores, they've learned teamwork is the best approach.
I basically do whatever Allison asks me to do. But there are some things that I do on autopilot now, like if I see laundry in the dryer, I'll take it out and fold it.
It's not just the laundry. David also does the vacuuming and the dishes. Sharing the housework is their secret to a happy marriage.
I think you learn quickly, especially the men, especially when a child comes, that if you don't share the load, then someone's going to explode.
Yeah.
According to Statistics Canada, it's a lesson many couples are learning. As women take on more paid work, their partners are helping out at home. Last year, men did nearly 3.5 hours of housework. That's up about 15 minutes a day since 1998, but still over an hour less than women. The gap is even narrower when looking at younger generations. Last year, women between the ages of 20 to 29 only did about 25 minutes more housework a day than their partners. Compare that to nearly 72 minutes more a day in 1986.
One of the things about relationships that I think we know is that when men do more housework, relationships with women are more successful. And so you may find that men are saying, you know, if I make an investment in terms of the housework, then I get that back in terms of a much happier partner, and a partner who is also willing to please me as I'm willing to please her.
But the concept of domestic bliss depends on who you ask.
She does it all.
Woman knows where everything goes.
If I help her, then we have more free time together.
I wouldn't mind if he cooked a little bit more, but but he's not a good cook, so I don't know, maybe do laundry more.
And for the Settons, it's all about compromise and knowing when to let go.
If the house is at a certain level of cleanliness, it's just going to get dirty again tomorrow.
It's an autoimmune disease that attacks many in the prime of their lives, but new help is on the way for lupus sufferers. The new first-of-its-kind treatment when we come back.
This global program is brought to you by Lux Windows, proud SAM Award winner for most innovative product.
Behold Canadian aviation at the Airdrie Regional Air Show. The Snowbirds and Company soar above Airdrie Air Park the last days of Stampede, July 16th and 17th. Limited tickets are on sale now, so call or log on to airdrieairshow.com for all the details.
It's the LensCrafters semi-annual lens event. That's 50% off lenses, including bifocals, no lines, even sunglasses made with your prescription. So hurry in. You won't see this sale again until next year. LensCrafters.
Hey, Wendy, I'd love a cold Frosty on the beach.
Well, how about we bring the beach and our new Wildberry Frosty Parfait right to you?
That is delicious. These are really good strawberries.
Cool, creamy, and topped with sweet summer berries, because that's when they're best. Or shake it up with Wendy's new Wildberry Frosty Shake.
This tastes like summer.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because like these guys, you know when it's real.
Guys, we won. Sorry, what? Guys, leave it.
What did he say?
Look at this.
We can't hear you. Hold up, guys. What?
We won.
We won what?
We won Lotto 649.
Wow.
We won Lotto 649.
Oh, man. Let me see that.
The next Lotto 649 jackpot is $40 million.
Part of what keeps your Toyota running like a Toyota is genuine parts and service. Only your authorized Toyota dealer offers warranty-approved maintenance from Toyota factory-trained technicians, using only parts specifically made for your vehicle to help keep your Toyota running smoothly for years to come. Like on your Corolla, which has the lowest cost of ownership over 10 years. Toyota, #1 for a reason.
Get the look for your home at End of the Roll. Save with incredible prices on a huge inventory of top brand name flooring at End of the Roll. Your flooring, right here, right now, right price. End of the Roll. Over 50 locations nationwide to floor you.
Introducing Doggy Dentures. Because 4 out of 5 dogs over the age of 3 develop oral care issues, like tartar buildup.
You're kidding, right? Just give me Dentistix, the treat that's clinically proven to reduce up to 80% of tartar buildup.
For the first time in almost 50 years, Canadians living with lupus have a new treatment option. Health Canada has approved a new drug, which, as Heather Yorks reports, is the first ever to be developed specifically for lupus.
It's an afternoon of quality time with his kids. But for Phil Hardy, afternoons like these aren't always possible.
I've got 2 great children. They know when I'm actually not feeling well. I mean, I've got the 13 and 12, and the jobs they do around the house is unbelievable.
Phil has lupus, an autoimmune disease that causes his own immune system to work against him.
We get tissue damage, and ultimately that can lead to major organ damage, and you'll see people with very severe skin rashes and lesions. It can attack the joints and the muscles.
Until now, lupus has been treated by drugs developed for other purposes: steroids, anti-malarial drugs, anti-inflammatories, and immune suppressant drugs. Never a drug specific to lupus.
Overall, these drugs are very helpful in a significant % of patients, but we also have a residual significant number of patients who don't respond to these medications.
But now Health Canada has approved a new drug specifically developed for lupus.
Benlysta is much more targeted. It affects a protein which affects the cells that produce the antibodies that are probably the cause of lupus. And so targeting that specific part of the immune system is what makes Benlysta unique.
The Lupus Society of Alberta says the new drug is exciting news, but cautions it's far from a miracle treatment.
It will generally be used in conjunction with other treatments that they are taking. And it's certainly not a cure. And one of the other cautions is that it won't help everybody.
Phil says he's hopeful and plans to ask his doctor about it the first chance he gets. Heather, your Global News.
Right now, Benlysta is only available by intravenous. Lupus affects 1 in 1,000 people. 90% of those are women. According to a major new study, women have a greater chance of surviving cancer. The National Cancer Institute has found men were more likely to die of lung and colon cancer, as well as more rare cancers like those of the lips and bladder. The one thing researchers have not been able to answer is why. Paul back with one more check at the book. Are you too tall or something?
I think so.
What?
She's saying lower your chair, and I'm going, what?
There you go.
Is this better?
One more check at the forecast.
Got some severe thunderstorms out there on the east side of the city of Calgary mostly, and you can see them moving towards Strathmore as well. The red and yellow are the where the heaviest amounts are. Anything in green is a little bit lighter, but we're all getting some pretty good thunderstorms tonight, and we expect them again tomorrow. A high of 20 degrees tomorrow. The precipitation should be gone by Thursday. We're back to mostly sunny conditions and will remain sunny through the remainder of the weekend.
Hail today, hail 1 year ago today.
Yeah, that's
Paul.
right. Big storm.
Okay, you look funny when you're this short. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hard to believe the Stampede Rodeo is half over. 5 nights down, 5 to go. Coming up, Kevin Smith joins us from the Stampede with all of today's rodeo and chuck wagon action.
This program is brought to you in part by RE/MAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results.
To rebuild something, you must first tear it down. And as you've probably heard, this place has seen its share of that. Yes, we have become an underdog. But no, we will not be asking you to lower your standards to buy a car made here. We will, in fact, be asking you to raise them.
Shatter everything you know about shine. New color sensational High Shine from Maybelline, New York. Our first High Shine color in a stick. Now pigments are micro-illuminated. Honey nectar creates our most luxurious feel. New High Shine. Only from Maybelline.
You wake up singing something just got better. It's the tale that tells the sky to open wide.
The Travel Alberta Holiday Card. Holiday values at travelalberta.com.
For over 50 years, Sounds of Music has been offering Calgarians the best video and audio equipment available from the most knowledgeable and helpful people around. Whether you're customizing your home or enhancing your system with exclusive brands like B&W and Rotel, we're the one place that you've been able to count on. And we're proud that you've made us #1 as the 2010-2011 recipient of the Consumer Choice Awards for Electronics. At Sounds of Music, service comes first.
I think in order to look differently, you have to eat differently. And Jenny Craig allows me to do that without making me feel deprived. I eat completely differently. I've learned to eat smaller portions, to be smaller proportioned. The biggest thing for me, huge, 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 is the snacks. The snacks are awesome. I've lost 30 pounds, and I'm not stopping here.
Lose all the weight you want for only $6 per week. Call 1-800-JENNY20.
Global Sports on the road tonight from the Stampede grounds. I'm Kevin Smith, going to start with the Rangeland Derby. Before tonight, 4 nights down, 4 nights to go before they decide the final 8 in Saturday's semi-final. Now, last night, Rick Fraser had the top time. He now leads the aggregate by almost 3 seconds. So, tonight's action, here's the fastest heat. Les McIntyre has your call.
There's a horn and a quick start right across the board. Mark Sutherland quick on that #1 barrel, going to get out there and steal the lead and the rail away from Reg Johnstone. ATV Financial, Wayne Knight, Express Employment Professionals right alongside of Reg Johnstone as they hunt down the stove rack of the high Johnstone, but you cannot pass what you can't catch. And right now, Mark Sutherland is uncatchable. A high-tech redneck and the Cowboys posse scoop the field tonight at the wire by 2. Wayne Knight a nose ahead of Reg Johnstone and Rick Fraser.
So Mark Sutherland in heat number 9, 118 flat. Great run in the final heat, and he is closing the gap on Rick Fraser. Fraser had the lead by almost 3 seconds before tonight. Now it's been cut to under 2 seconds, and Sutherland only 1/100th out of first place. So there's the aggregate. Fraser, Montewillo, Sutherland, Reg Johnstone, and Jerry Bremner rounding out the top 5. So you're up to date on the Rangeland Derby. Now to the rodeo. This afternoon was day number 5, but it was day number 1 for Pool B, and much better conditions on the infield. Here's all your action. Day 1 of Pool B at the Stampede Rodeo. Much drier conditions today. Tie-down roping. Trent Krieger from Stillwater, Oklahoma. He's from OK, and he was OK, a 7-1, taking the day money of $5,500. Steer wrestling, Cody Cassidy, the Alberta Cowboy from Donalda, Alberta, 3-6. Nice time for Cody, taking day money in his pocket. Bareback William Lowe from Canyon, Texas, aboard Bordertown, 85. He also takes day money. Everyone getting $5,500 if they win their discipline today. The Saddle Bronc, Jesse Wright from Milford, Utah. Look at the balance and the spurring aboard Big Muddy. Yeah, it wasn't as muddy today, and a pretty good score of 84-5. Barrel racing. Sidney Blanchard from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Clock it up. It's a 17-5-9 for the day money in barrel racing. And finally, the Bulls. J.B. Mowney from Mooresville, North Carolina. He's on boiling point. It's an 87, so a little bit of money for Mowney at the Bulls in day 1 of Pool B. Well, as you know, chuck wagon racing, hugely popular here in Alberta, but one riding family from England is here for their first Stampede. They're looking to make this sport more popular overseas.
There's a horn and the charge is underway.
Chuck wagon racing around a track like you see at the Calgary Stampede is about as uniquely Alberta as it comes. In England, for instance, they have combined driving. Longer distances, slower speeds, smaller crowds, larger variety. The top driving family in England, the Bowmans, are taking in their first Stampede, and a documentary called Changing Reins will result.
About 15 months ago, I was sitting with young George in his office, and he just tapped in and he said, "Watch this," and it was actually chuck wagon racing from the Calgary Stampede. He said, "I want to do this," and I went, "Wow, that's insane."
And from that meeting, an idea was hatched to have Alberta's top driving family, the Sutherlands, host the Bowmans during Stampede. And later this fall, Kelly and his group will visit the Bowmans on their turf.
It's going to be a wonderful experience for all of the Sutherland clan to get over there, and I'm going to try and kick some butt when I'm over there too.
The Bowman family say the Calgary Stampede and chuck wagon racing has always been something they've been aware of. It's been on their bucket list of things to do and see, and they've seen it online. But they say to see the thrill and the speed of it here in person this week, it's blown them away.
You said, guys, this is fast. This is obviously different. It's 4 horses, same harness, 4 wheels in the carriage, but completely different style of driving. But until you see it in the flesh, you don't comprehend the speed and the acceleration. I was absolutely blown away.
Each night, a member of the Bowman family has demoed a chuck wagon ride in front of the big crowds before the night's competition. For this English horse riding family, literally changing reins has been a life-changing experience. And the Sutherlands will go to England this fall to grab the reins of combined driving, and the documentary, by the way, will be released early in 2012. Okay, that's it from the Stampede. Now to the Stampeders. Got a big game Thursday in Winnipeg. Want to feature one of their receivers right now, Landon Talley. Did a great job last week in a win, filling in for Kenyon Rambo. Here's Grant Pollock with more on this gifted receiver.
One of the Stamp's best players, Kenyon Rambo, is healthy again and going back in the lineup for Thursday's game in Winnipeg. As a result, one of the team's best young players and one of the best players in their last game is coming out of the lineup and won't play against the Bombers.
I try to keep positive about things. I mean, honestly, I try to have a humbleness about myself because, I mean, you never know what will happen. I mean, like today I could be here playing, doing everything I need to do for the team, and next thing you know, I go down hurt, and there goes my career. So, I mean, all I still see it is just trying to stay humble because you just never know what will happen.
Talley's positive attitude is refreshing in pro sports. Not all players in his situation are so upbeat.
Honestly, I feel like there's still a lot for me to learn. It's mainly trying to how to run my routes against the actual DB
He ran his passing routes just fine against the Lions and scored a touchdown. A big moment for him and his mom and dad in Florida.
My mom, me and her, we talk every day, along with me and my dad too. I mean, we're always commenting on stuff. I mean, communicating with each other and everything, especially for me and my dad, is like he's my coach.
24 years old, his life and career in a good place, and he just got married 2 months ago.
She's actually visiting right now, but I mean, she's back in Orlando and everything, so I mean, it's nice having her up here with me and everything, because I mean, I don't have to cook on my own now, but when she is, I'm like, yes, I'm loving it. It's a gift to play football, something that I love to do, and be able to come out here every day and just strap it on. I mean, it's just something amazing for me.
And it's amazing for fans to watch. Grant Pollock, Global Sports.
Thanks a lot, Grant. And of course, Landon Talley and the Stamps are in Winnipeg Thursday night. The Stamps looking to go 2-1 on the season. The Blue Bombers, they're already 2-0, looking to go undefeated in their first 3 games. A couple notes for you in hockey. Andrew Cogliano from the Oilers traded to Anaheim for a second-round pick. And when we come back, we're going to have some baseball. All-Star Night in Phoenix when Global Sports returns.
Closed captioning brought to you by Mint Floor Coverings, a fresh start for your floors. Visit our showroom or go to mintfloorcoverings.com. Get Mint on your floors. Don't spend one.
Introducing the incredible, magnificent, spectacular Kidsman Lotto for the Alberta Children's Hospital. With more than 1,700 prizes valued over $2.9 million. Featuring 2 breathtaking grand prize show homes. Vehicles, vacations, and electronics sure to entertain. Tickets are $100 each, 5 for $200 and 15 for $300. Making miracles happen for the Alberta Children's Hospital. For more info, visit homelotto.com.
Hungry for excitement? Spice up your life with a full Texas grilled spirit of Chili's. Mouth-watering fire-grilled steaks, juicy Big Mouth burgers, sizzling fajitas, and slow-smoked in-house ribs. Chili's, pepper in some fun.
You are the next trending topic. You are the next mayor of this bar. You are the next most viewed. You are the next leader. You are the next breath of fresh air. You are the next sensation. The HTC Sensation 4G, instantly connecting you to just about everything. Exclusively at Bell and Virgin Mobile.
Now when you buy an IKEA kitchen, you'll get up to 20% back in gift cards, which means you could have enough gift cards to buy quite a few pots or storage containers. It's really up to you. IKEA, any space can be beautiful.
Yes, the race is on. Definitely on. Definitely fast. Definitely thrilling. Definitely spectacular. As 25 of the world's best drivers challenge Edmonton's exciting new race course. Yes, the world's best drivers for Western Canada's best motorsports event. The IZOD IndyCar Series. July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Great packages including tickets and lodging available. Inquire now.
Welcome back to Global Sports. Time to talk some baseball now. First, we'll talk locally. Siemens Stadium in Okotoks. If you've been there, it's a pretty special place. Baseball Canada announcing it is one of the top 16 for Canada's favorite baseball park. You want to make it number 1? You can help. You can vote. Go to baseball.ca. Voting goes until July 18th. Now to the Major Leagues of Baseball, a recap of All-Star Week. Before we get to tonight's game, I want to do something from last night's home run contest. A foolish sports fan is extremely lucky after nearly falling from the stands during the home run derby. He was standing on the top of the ledge trying to catch balls when he slipped, but thankfully was caught by the people around him. It is eerily similar to last week's fatal accident when another fan reaching for a ball fell to his death in Texas. Now to tonight, the American League versus the National League. It's the All-Star game from Phoenix. In this one, no score until top 4. Adrian Gonzalez of the Boston Red Sox gets into one here, and it is out of here. A 1-0 lead for the American lead, but bottom 4, Prince Fielder of the Milwaukee Brewers does the same thing, but this time there's 2 runners on. It's a 3-run shot and a 3-1 lead for the National League.
just like that, it's 3-1 National League.
Now to the ninth. Brian Wilson in of the San Francisco Giants to clean up. And there it is. The National League wins 5-1 and clinches home field advantage for whatever National League team makes the World Series.
Holiday started it, and Prince Fielder is all smiles. But
okay, that is Global Sports on a Tuesday night from the Stampede grounds. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Dallas, going to send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kev. You know, it's construction or snow on the roads in Calgary. There's just no way to beat the traffic unless you have one of these, and soon you can. We'll have details when you come back.
The hot summer days are almost as long as the beaches. It's Manitoba time. 100,000 lakes and over 100,000 chances to hook the big one. It's Manitoba time.
For a great way to keep food fresh, use the new Vac & Store vacuum storage system, only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. This easy-to-use system works without batteries or electricity. The food-grade, reusable plastic bags are perfect for the freezer or the fridge. Reheat in the microwave. Easy to clean, the Vac & Store is also easy to store, unlike large and expensive vacuum products. The Vac & Store, just $19.97. Only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
The legendary taste of Mars. Crack through the delicious thick milk chocolate and uncover the creamy caramel and soft nougat. Experience the taste of Mars.
It's the LensCrafters semi-annual lens event. That's 50% off lenses, including bifocals, no lines, even sunglasses made with your prescription. So hurry in. You won't see this sale again until next year. LensCrafters.
Financial planning starts at any age. With honesty comes results, and with wisdom comes reward. I'm Rob Laidlaw with Acumen Capital Partners. For the young, or even the young at heart, I'm here to help you every step of the way.
I'm Julia Havey, and together with PGX, we want to help 1 million people lose weight for free. Go to pgx.com for free access to ebooks, healthy eating guides, and personal support. Go to pgx.com and join for free.
I bet the thousands who are getting stuck in the Deerfoot construction delays would do just about anything for one of these.
We flew, yes!
That was gorgeous. It's a flying car. It's a fully functioning vehicle that has just been cleared by the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration for flight. It has wings that transform it into a two-seater plane and is designed to shift from air to road and back seamlessly. Could be on the market as early as next year, but it's going to cost you about $250,000. That's NewsHour Final. See you tomorrow.